Today we're discussing entitled cops who encountered the wrong citizens. From officers upset by a man filming a police station parking lot to those attempting to wrongly identify individuals. Get ready to witness some of the worst policing behaviors. Let's go to the video. Jim Durfee found himself in a tricky situation when he decided to check on some cops who were parked in what seemed like anticipation of his arrival. Curious, he approached the cars and asked if everything was all right. One of the cops responded that things were not fine, and he asked Jim if he could show his ID. Jim had his ID, but chose not to show it, questioning if the cop ever heard of the Fourth Amendment. He explained that as long as citizens aren't breaking the law, they have the right to keep their identity private. But the cops shouldn't challenge this without a good reason. Jim made it clear that he'd have no issue identifying himself if he had actually done something wrong, but he didn't want to just hand over his rights to make cops feel more in control. Meanwhile, a female cop joined her colleague from the other car. She didn't say much. She just glanced out the car window and seemed to be checking something on their computer. Jim stood his ground, arguing that preserving his civil rights was crucial unless there was a legitimate reason to give them up. This was more about principle than confrontation.
Is everything all good? No. Is everything okay? I'm the host here. Not Chris Smith, no.
You have an ID?
I wouldn't give you one if I had one.
Really?
Really? You know the Fourth Amendment. You gotta be committing a crime. What? No,
Like the guy I'm looking for.
I know who Chris Smith is. That's, that's not me, obviously. I don't have blue eyes.
Okay. You know where he would be?
I have no idea. I haven't seen him. No. Why did you get a call that he was here?
No, we're just looking for him. He's like not doing so well.
Oh, yeah.
How do you know?
I know him from back in the day. I went to high school with him.
Okay. You're talking to recently?
No, I haven't talked to him in years. Probably 10 plus
Is that
years.
him?
No.
You don't have an ID?
I do have an ID.
Can I just see it?
You cannot just see it. No law.
You're one of those guys.
No, I'm not one of those guys. It's just I've not committed a crime. So.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was walking, you think I'd walk up to you?
When the cops realized Jim wasn't going to easily hand over his ID, they switched up tactics. They formed a circle around him, but forgot to keep their distance and maintain about 6 feet to avoid making him feel threatened. They were supposedly looking for a man named Chris Smith. One of the cops mentioned they'd received a call about Chris. They showed Jim a picture of Chris, hinting that since they thought Jim resembled Chris, they needed to confirm his identity to rule him out and continue their search. Coincidentally, Jim knew Chris from high school and informed the cops that he hadn't seen him in over 10 years. With this new information, it should have been clear to cops that Jim wasn't the person they were looking for. Ideally, they would have moved on. However, driven by their egos, cops decided to linger around Jim, stubbornly insisting he looked like a picture of Chris. This stubbornness was problematic. While cops were wasting their time with Jim, the real Chris was out there, possibly in need of urgent help. This situation highlights the negative consequences of entitled behavior in law enforcement, motivating the audience to advocate for better policing practices.
This has nothing to do with someone being wanted.
Well, of course, you just said it was.
No, he needs help.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Suicide or something? Suicide patrol or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Can I verify that you're not him?
You can by looking at the picture.
You kind of look like him. It's an old picture.
So what? You don't want to make a mistake like that.
Well, I know what mistakes I can make and not make.
Well, I'm not going to give you an ID.
You see the photo and shield? So, Laura, do you work here?
I'm host here.
You host the campground? Or?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to verify who he is.
No, I'm just not going to identify. It's not a big deal.
Hi, I'm Rob. I'm the sergeant. I'm the supervisor.
How you doing?
Did he explain what's going on?
Yeah, he says he's looking for this guy right there.
Yeah.
Chris Smith.
Yeah. And you're not Chris Smith?
Not Chris Smith.
Okay.
Do I look like him?
Well.
No, I'm the host here. I wanted to see why you guys were rolling in. So that's all.
Oh, yeah. That's why. Are you the only employee that's working? Just to verify. Said he knows who this is.
Oh, I went to high school with him. Yeah. No, I haven't seen him in a decade.
It's a pretty common name.
Over
You know who
over
I'm talking
decade.
about?
I see him right there. Yeah. I know who he is. I'm not him. Guess what? I'm not him. There is another employee somewhere, but they're not going to identify themselves either.
Jim was naturally curious about who had called the cops, but they didn't think he needed to know that information. However, Jim felt that since it was his property the cops ended up surrounding, he deserved some explanation. Despite this, one of the cops labeled Jim's behavior as disrespectful, saying they were trying to conduct an investigation. Clearly, they weren't handling it well. These cops were a perfect example of entitled cops, thinking they could do whatever they wanted just because they wore badges. But they didn't expect to encounter the wrong person, like Jim, who knew his rights well. Jim's knowledge annoyed the cops even more when he told them he was going to make full use of his Fourth Amendment rights because there was nothing they could legally do to force his cooperation. Eventually, the cops realized they had no authority over Jim in this situation. He wasn't about to surrender his rights just because they said they were investigating something. So they had no choice but to let him go on with his day. This incident underscores the role of citizens in upholding their rights, reinforcing the message of the article, and encouraging the reader to take action.
Who called you?
I don't have to tell you that.
Well, this is private property, though, right?
Yeah, but we're investigating something and looking for someone who might be in trouble that could be in the area. So
Okay. Well, I haven't seen him.
Changes the situation a little bit.
A little bit.
We're being respectful of you, and you can just be respectful.
No, I
of
am.
us.
I totally am. I've been nothing but courteous and cordial. I just won't identify.
Yeah.
That's my right. I'll flex that. You know, I gotta flex it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you can flex that 100%.
You agree with it, right? I mean, that's
I know what I can and can't do.
Right.
Depending
Cool.
on the situation.
right. And I mean, you wouldn't be pissed off if I didn't identify that, right?
Now you're just being petty.
Well, no, I'm just wondering.
Do I look pissed?
No, but it was just,
And then we answered
I
that
was
question.
curious. I was just
We answered
curious.
that question, right?
Right. I know. I'm sure you guys get it from everybody all day long, so it's tough. It's probably tough.
Yeah,
It's a tough
people
gig.
like you make it tougher.
Well,
For sure.
I'm sure.
Your behavior.
My behavior? Why? Because I'm not identifying? And I'm seeing what you guys are doing here because I work here. Like, my behavior's been fine. I've been cordial with you guys. So, am I free to go? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I hope you find him. I hope he gets help.
Right from the start, things were tense here. A cop noticed a man walking around with his camera, filming everything, and for some reason, the cop thought he should confront the man for it. First off, the cop really needed to brush up on his constitutional law because every citizen has the right to film in public places. Oddly, the cop seemed to forget these rights, especially since he had sworn to protect them at the start of his career. The man, knowing he hadn't done anything wrong, refused to give his name. This bruised the ego of the entitled cop. He was clearly not used to being denied anything. The cop escalated the situation, threatening to arrest the man. However, these threats didn't intimidate the man at all. In fact, he knew the law much better than the cop did. What the cop didn't realize is that he was dealing with no ordinary citizen. The man was actually a lawyer, well versed in legal matters, but the cop would only find this out later. Instead of boosting his own ego, the cop inadvertently picked a fight with the wrong citizen, who understood the legal system far better than he did.
Your name. You're about to get locked up.
How
Tell
am I
me your
gonna
name.
get locked up for
'Cause I'm
not
gonna lock you
idea?
up.
For not idea.
I'm gonna lock you up.
For not idea.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
On both of these cameras, you're gonna get locked up for not
Okay.
telling me who you are.
He knows
This is
who
the
I am.
last time I'm gonna ask
He
you.
knows who I am. He's got my name. It's no ID statute. I'm gonna sit tight. Am I detained? Are you detaining me? And then I'm free to stay. I'm free to stay. You just pressed on. Yes, I do. You just pressed up on me, trying to intimidate me. It don't work.
How am I? You're not intimidating me either, bud.
I'm not trying to.
Okay. So how am I a tyrant?
Because you pressed up on me, talking about arresting me for failure to ID.
Which I'm going.
When
to
there's
do.
no such statute in North Carolina.
There is.
What
I
is
can't
it?
help
What
that
is
you
it then?
don't know.
What is it? You tell it to me.
I'm telling you.
I know the laws in North Carolina.
You apparently don't, sir.
Evidently I do.
Question: if you were an officer,
Like
you
what?
would know that.
Answer what question?
I'm not looking at you, which means I'm not talking to you.
But I'm free to talk.
You gave me, I'm giving back to you.
I'm a
now.
free American, dude. I can talk when I get
what I'm
ready.
saying?
I heard you.
But I'm going to treat you the same way you treat me, buddy.
You come up
That
on
don't
me.
have anything to do
You
with
pressed
North
up on
Carolina
me.
General
You pressed up
Statute.
on me. I didn't
pressed up
approach
on
you.
anything.
Dude, it's on camera.
I asked you for your name.
No, you pressed up on me.
This situation got even more heated when one cop accused the man of being too close, even though it was actually the cop who had approached him first. Shouldn't the cop have been more mindful of the distance himself? Seems like the cop's ego was pushing him to twist the truth, as he claimed he hadn't approached the man first. Luckily, the man recorded the entire encounter on his camera. Seeing his colleagues struggling in the argument, another cop decided to join in, hoping that together they could intimidate the man. To say their plan backfired would be an understatement. This new cop started threatening the man with arrest for trespassing and demanded he leave immediately. But here's the thing, if he was free to leave, he was also free to stay. Plus, these cops seem confused about what trespassing actually means. You can't be arrested for trespassing on a public sidewalk. Everyone has the right to be in public spaces, and cops don't have the authority to alter that. The sooner cops grasp this, the smoother things will go for everyone. And yes, it's crucial to remember never to give up your civil rights, even if you're threatened with arrest. Sometimes someone has to stand firm and remind the cops of the limits of their power, just like this lawyer did.
A foot from
I'm
me.
doing the same thing again.
You was a foot from
This is
me.
where I was a minute ago.
And you need
I'm
to give
doing
me
the same
6
thing.
feet. You don't
I
have no mask on.
What general statute is that?
That's not a statue.
Okay, it's not law.
Stop pressing up on me,
It's
man.
not law.
Stop pressing up on me. Hey, cuz, you need to come. Yeah.
Dude, I'm not.
He's acting like a tyrant right now.
This is not what tyranny
No, it
is.
ain't sorry. If you were sorry, you would quit him from doing it.
He's not doing anything wrong.
He's not. He's not intimidating. He's not pressing up on me.
intimidated?
He's not pressing up on. No, I don't get intimidated by
No,
tyrants.
evidently he's not. You answered your own question.
He got more than 2, not even a foot from me. That's trying to intimidate. That's what that is. I got.
But it's city property.
I know which I'm like.
Okay,
I'm
then you've been
entitled.
asked to leave.
I'm entitled to be right here.
You've been asked to leave.
Okay.
Sir, if you want to be a tyrant, if you want to be a tyrant, you can be a tyrant
To
too.
leave the property.
We're asking
Or what?
you to leave.
The next course of recall is to be charged with trespass.
How you gonna trespass me from public property? I'm talking to this man right here.
Now I'm telling you.
Hang on, calm down a little bit. Newton, is it Newton? Newton, Norton.
Leave.
I'm sorry. Hang
You're
on.
being told to leave now.
Let me. Can I talk? Can I
Last
talk?
time
No,
leave.
it's that simple.
You bout
Leave.
it's simple.
Last
all you got to do.
opportunity. Get in your truck and go.
So y'all gonna arrest me for being on public property?
We're going to arrest
It's not
you
on
for
public
trespassing.
property.
What is- sir,
You're
what is this?
trespassing. You own his
This is on
property.
public. This is.
That's state property.
It goes from 15. It goes from.
Now we have some cops who were thrown off when their usual script didn't play out as they expected. They approached a man who was filming near a police station. One cop told him that while he could film in public spaces, he wasn't allowed to film on police station property because it was government-owned property. The man threw the cop off balance with just one question, asking who pays for government property, hinting that the taxpayers fund it. Seeing where the conversation was headed, the cop quickly said things weren't as simple as the man thought. Curious, the man asked what would happen if he refused to leave, wanting to see how the cop would handle the situation. At this point, the cop was at a loss for words, so his female colleague jumped in. She tried to argue that the real issue was the man filming private vehicles in the station's parking lot, but the man clarified he was only filming police vehicles to document how the police would react. He explained to them even if he did film private cars, it wouldn't be wrong. He pointed out that in public spaces, you can record anything you can see, no matter how uncomfortable it might make people feel.
So do you want to start again?
Right, as I say, you're allowed to film out in public. We're going to have to ask you can't film here in the police station grounds
Why?
because it's owned, isn't it? This is owned land, this isn't public land,
Who's it owned by?
it's owned by the government.
Okay, and who pays for the government?
That's not how it works.
That
But
is exactly
you're
how
more
it
than
works.
entitled to film out there.
Okay, so if I stay here, what's going to happen? If I stay here, what's going to happen?
Well, we'll have to deal with that, won't we?
How would you deal with it?
We'll have to see.
It's not just that, but it's not just police cars in here, it's private cars, and you shouldn't be filming private cars.
Private cars that are filmed all day, every day. By you guys, as well.
As we say, you're more than entitled to film out on the public walkways.
Yeah.
You're not entitled necessarily to film on owned land.
Well, this is
owned.
This is accessible to the
yeah.
public under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act, 1972. So I'm going to stay here. So what happens now?
I'll look at my body cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.
Can you stop filming inside the police house, please?
I like police cars though. I didn't realise this one was a police car.
Inside the police house, please.
So they said the issue was the private cars, but I haven't filmed any private cars on purpose. Just filming the police cars. They seem to have some sort of issue with it. I'm not really sure why.
Then another cop stepped out of the police station with a camera slung over his shoulder. Maybe he thought that filming the man would intimidate him into leaving, but this man wasn't one to be scared off by a camera. However, that wasn't the only mistake these entitled cops made. They didn't realize that their policies require them to identify themselves when asked. Only one senior cop gave his name, and that was after the man had to ask him several times. Moreover, this senior cop claimed that police cars were private vehicles, which clearly wasn't true. When entitled cops encounter a citizen who knows their rights, they often try to team up to assert their control. But this man was sharp enough to outsmart them. With nowhere left to go in this argument, the group of cops had no choice but to head back to the station.
Now then,
Oh, you look different. You look different.
well, all it is, I've just had to put this on. So,
Any high vis?
so you're aware. No, oh yeah, high vis, so you can see me.
So we know where
this
you are.
camera, So you're aware this camera is recording.
Awesome. Thank you for telling me.
Awesome. We have to let you know.
I know that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Right then.
Did you come out for a reason?
Well yeah, I just come out, as I say, just recording.
You come out to record me?
Well, I mean, as much as you say, you can film.
Yeah.
We have to make sure obviously nothing happens still. So
It's just like trying to find out what's your intention. Is there a reason for you filming a particular?
Yeah, there's a reason for me filming. Yeah. 100%. Do you want to know what that is?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
To make a video.
Okay, that's good. Was it social media type scenario, was it?
It's for me. It's for me. Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to tell us who you are?
No.
You don't have, that's fine.
No. Would you tell me who you
I
are?
appreciate it, obviously we've got to ask because obviously it's quite rude when somebody coming down filming at a police station.
Would you tell me who you are, please?
Why for it, that's fine.
Sorry. Would you tell me who you are?
I'm PC Dempsey from the police station.
PC Dempsey.
Yeah.
Awesome. And your collar number?
Yes, 2917.
2917. Thank you very much.
No problem. No problem. How long do you intend to stay just out of interest?
Just as long as it takes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Takes what is it you're trying to achieve?
Create a video.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Look. How's he just going in? Thought he'd come to join you.
We'll leave you to it. I mean, like we say, there's no issue. It's not a problem whatsoever.
Oh, I know there's no
Do us a
issues.
favour, though, don't be looking into people's cars when your personal cars. Is that alright?
Sorry?
Is that fair? So don't be filming in people's personal cars. Is that okay?
Filming in personal cars.
Yeah, because obviously these are personal police officer cars as opposed to police vehicles. Is that alright? Is that reasonable?
Well, it depends on what you mean by don't be
Well, I'm asking
filming
you
in
not to, if you don't
the
mind.
cars.
I'm asking if you don't mind
So
filming in people's cars.
I wasn't filming anybody's cars.
Okay, that's good then. That's all I'm
Filming in anybody's cars. I mean, there's cars in the background in the shop. I wasn't filming inside anybody's cars.
That'll do for me.
So please don't accuse me of doing so.
I'm not accusing you. I'm asking you not to do it. Okay.
Well, if I wanted to do that, would you stop me?
Okay. You've been a bit silly now.
If I wanted to do that, would you stop
You're a
me?
bit silly now, sir.
No, you wouldn't.
Stop trying to get a confrontation.
I'm going to go film in this car, and is anything going to happen if I do?
You need to spend your time doing something a bit more constructive.
I would suggest you do the same.
Now we have one more entitled cop who got more than he bargained for when he encountered the wrong person. The cop noticed a man filming two women on the street, which he found suspicious. However, what the man was doing, filming in a public space, is actually protected by law. The fact that the two women felt uncomfortable didn't automatically make the man's actions wrong. The cop's big mistake was that he confronted and assaulted the man, when the correct approach would have been for the man to simply explain to the woman that, uncomfortable as it may be, he had the legal right to film in public. What escalated the situation was that one of the women had previously approached the man and covered his camera because she didn't like being filmed. So in response, he continued to film her to provoke a reaction.
Sorry, sir. Who are you?
Police officer.
Yep.
PC Controls. How can I help? What's going on?
I don't need any help, sir.
Okay, why are you filming those two ladies?
No, they approached me, sir.
Okay, what
They
did they
came
say?
to me, sir. So let's verify that. They came to me, sir.
Yeah, okay, what did they say?
Okay? Well, telling me that I shouldn't be here, okay? I have every legal right to be here. I've spoken to several other officers here,
Okay.
right? I'm here doing an actual documentary, okay,
Right.
on this police station and 2 other police stations where they
Yeah.
put a unit together, okay, and 5 of those officers committed sexual offences and were suspended for a total of 18 months.
Okay. Do you have any documentation to prove that you are allowed to?
Well, I'm in public, sir. I'm in public.
Okay.
I'm doing a perfectly lawful activity. I'm in public and I'm allowed to film whatever I can see in public.
Okay.
And that is exactly what I'm doing, sir.
So you said that you're carrying out the documentary, is that right?
Yes, for myself.
Okay. For yourself?
Yes.
Okay, it was just understanding whether it was for the media or...
No, for myself, sir.
Okay, so what's your involvement in all of this? If these officers...
Well, I'm a member of the public, sir.
Alright. But what's
I'm a
your
member.
involvement in terms of...
No, I'm a member of the public, okay, and I've come here, okay,
Yeah.
to actually find out whether or not any serving officer, okay, as a human being, believes that it's right for somebody in that position,
Right.
okay, to commit a crime such as that,
Okay.
right, and think that it's actually acceptable just purely because they're a serving officer that they only get an 18-month suspension from work. That's not right. As a human being, it's not right.
I don't think any of us can comment because we weren't there. So unless we were part of the court procedure, we have no business in giving an opinion.
Okay, right. You take this lady here. You take this lady here. Okay, that was nearest to me.
All right.
Okay. When I was actually standing there on the corner, she came out very aggressive. Okay, literally put her hand up, literally to my face. Okay, telling me that I cannot film. I have the legal right in which to film. I'm in public and I'm allowed to film.
The issue here is this is a sensitive location.
What do you mean by sensitive location?
In the sense that there's a lot of individuals that work out of this station, and obviously we're in plain clothes as well as uniformed.
Yep, and I've had several interactions with both today.
After the confrontation, the cop didn't think to talk to the woman about her behavior, which could have been seen as an overreaction. Instead, he told the man that the real issue was that he was filming in a sensitive location. What does that even mean? Just because a cop is in uniform doesn't mean he can make up new rules on the spot. The officer seemed to think that the man needed a specific reason to be filming there, but the man had a perfectly valid reason. He was exercising his legal right to film in public and wasn't breaking any laws. Moreover, the man was a freelance journalist, simply trying to gather content for a story. This scenario suggests that if the cop wants to do his job effectively, maybe he should start by showing a little bit more respect for people engaging in lawful activities. Understanding and respecting public rights should be a basic part of police training, especially when dealing with journalists who are just doing their jobs.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is, unless you've got a reason to...
And I do have a reason, sir. And I do have a reason.
I don't think it's fair to put serving members of the public out there for everyone to judge where we come in and where we come out. Unless you have a reasonable excuse.
I'm here to do my own story.
Right.
Okay. I'm doing a legal activity. Okay. And I'm filming in public exactly where I'm legally allowed to go. Okay. I've committed no crime. Okay. And I've broken no law, sir.
Okay. Well.
Okay. That's why I said I've spoken to at least, I would say, approximately 15 officers. Is what I've spoken to over the course of the last hour.
Right.
Okay, and I've had some friends
stand here and film whoever goes in and goes out.
No, I'm speaking to as many officers. I just said to the other young lady, the one on the right there, I welcome any engagement by any officer. Okay, and that's the thing. Okay, the more officers that can actually speak, then it's fantastic.
What's not fine is just you continuing to film our police station without anyone giving consent.
But I don't need consent, sir. I don't need consent. I'm filming from public and I'm allowed to film whatever I can see.
What I'm saying is...
Right, a quick question. Yes, I can, sir. Yes, I can, sir. Did you get the memo last year to do with people that actually film around police stations?
So,
okay. No, did you get the memo last year that went out to every single police station, okay, from the actual police commission, saying about people filming around the police stations should be allowed to do their lawful activity that they're allowed to do? I've been doing this for a long time.
So you just stand outside police stations and film it?
Yes, I do. Okay, and I actually ask the police. Okay, I look at the good things and I look at the bad things. Okay, and that's the thing. There's a lot of good things that a lot of serving officers do that also need to actually be shown to the public. Okay, and that's the thing. The public and the police at the moment are so far apart. Okay, it's about trying to build that bridge to try and bring them back together. Okay, and that's the main thing. There's a lot of people out there. Okay, yes. Okay, that go out trying to rile the police up, okay? But then there's a lot of good people out there trying to actually show that it's not about bad interaction. It's about engaging and it's about talking. And that's the main thing. And all I'm trying to do, okay, that's why I said I welcome any interaction I have with any officer, because it's a very, very important thing what we do, okay? And it's about trying to actually bring the public and the police back together, okay? And that's the thing. We need the police, okay? The police do a good job, okay? They're there to serve and protect the public, and that's what I wish for them to actually carry on and do it, but in a correct and lawful way.
Okay, in that sense, I'll leave you to do what you
No problem, sir. Thank you.
We have work to carry on. We can't
That's
stay
no
all
problem,
day,
sir. That's
but,
fine.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's fine. No worries. Thank you very much, sir.